What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Random Ramblings. I'm Jerome.
I'm Nick.
And today we're talking about Game of Thrones Season 8 theories. How many times have we talked about Season 8 theories?
A lot.
About 17 times?
You know what? I was thinking about that, though. So we'll probably repeat ourselves a lot, but it's like less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking excited.
Next week, we'll do a prediction video where we go through every character. I'll bring them up on here, and I'll be like, what do you think happens to Sansa? What do you think happens to... Almost said Littlefinger. He's dead. What do you think happens to Bran? Stuff like that. And we'll go through each character, and we'll, figure it out.
What do you think happens to Hot Pie?
Yeah, what do you think happens to Hot Pie? Is he even in the last season? Who knows? Find out next week. Breaking news. That's the thumbnail. Hot Pie.
You should put him on the thumbnail. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Everyone would be like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, it'd be like Rickon.
He starts his own chain of wolf bread.
Wow. I watched a video before when I was looking for theories, and it was of Hodor and NBC. Interviewed him, and who he thinks he's going to win and all that.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the video.
Oh, and
now I know why he only says Hodor.
Why is that?
He didn't. His talking left something to be desired.
Sorry, I taped a wire to the wall back there before we started, and it just undid. The middle of you talking, and I got distracted.
Obviously.
But
I
right,
thought I was getting attacked from the back.
You think someone's crawling through that window? And
Hess is like, fuck the coyotes, I'm here.
But all right. So first theory. What do you think we're starting off with?
Bran's the Night King.
No, it's like you could see. Can you see through the computer? What's the second one?
Bran's probably still the Night King.
Wow, what's the third one?
Jerome thinks Bran is the Night King.
Wow, that's all I wrote down, actually. What if that was the only theory I wrote down and I lied to you all day?
Well, then I can go play Apex.
That's true. Yeah, so Bran is the Night King. I want that to happen just because I think it's a cool story, and, I really like the Night King and I really like Bran, so if they're the same character, that's cool.
Yeah, and I don't.
But you don't think it's cool, you don't think it'll happen because, you're... Anything I really want to happen and you like to, fucking... beat it down and tell me why it's wrong and fucking call me a loser and stick my horn in my ass and stuff like that.
That's all true.
Yeah.
But it really has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no.
Even if Bran is the Night King, we still need to know who the Night King is.
Yeah, the Night King, the original, the body is I'm assuming just some Joe Schmo back in the day hanging out with the children of the forest.
I don't.
I actually have stuff on here of who he might be, but I don't know if that'll be the case or not. But what I'm just assuming it was like a dude and got stabbed. As far as we know,
yeah, as far as we know so far.
And for this theory, it's just a random dude, and then Bran's in him, and he's like, "Hey, children of the forest, don't do this. You guys are gonna cause evil. He's super strong." And then they're like, "Wait a minute, he actually helps us win this shit," and then they do it anyways, and Bran just gave them the idea basically to do it, and all this shit fucks it up.
I think Bran would be smarter than that at this point. Because...
You think so?
Because...
That's part of the reason
why would they believe
stuff like
him?
that is why I think it wouldn't happen, because he might be like, well, I fucked up with Hodor, so I gotta be careful. But then it depends on if they're in a pinch and someone's like, hey, Bran, fucking do your shit. But you don't know?
Yeah, but no one else knows he can go back in time. No one else knows he's...
That's not true. The Night King knows that, maybe. Because he's Bran.
Yeah, but he's not gonna tell him.
The old Red Raven knows that, and he's dead.
He's dead. Wouldn't
Mira know?
She's left. She said, peace, brother.
Well,
you're
but
weird.
She still knows, right?
But she's not there. She's probably going to be a White Walker and attack him.
Did you like that when Hodor said that if they kill anybody off, he's like, I'd kill her off, because if she didn't fucking say hold the door, I'd still be there.
I must have turned it off before he said that.
They asked me who he'd kill off, and I was like, oh, that's actually a really good answer.
That's funny.
But yeah, so we don't have to talk about that much, because we've talked about that a lot before, and... You don't think he's going to be an I do because, I'm smarter than you.
I do. So, what's the title of this show? Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
I don't think the Night King wants the throne.
No, I don't either.
So,
I think he wants something that was promised to him and that we haven't seen yet.
If they really fight all of the White Walkers and the Night King in episode 3 like we think, they almost have to win.
The White Walkers or the people?
The people.
I don't think the people are winning in episode 3. I think the Whites is gonna that fight's gonna continue going until either the second to last episode or the last episode.
Here's why I think they win season in episode 3, or at least you still feel like they have a chance at least. Is because Cersei's just hanging out down in King's Landing, and what's the point? Why do we? It's if they lose, she's fucked. So why would we even care about anything she does for the first 3 episodes? If
well, because I think supposedly Cersei's gonna be setting up they're fighting the White Walkers, and then if they win or not, whatever, right after that, her Golden Company, Circle, whatever they are going to come in and fight him right after that and defeat him. And then she's like, good, no one else is here. Job done. But I think shit will hit the fan and go wrong.
Oh, you think she's going to try and swoop in at the end?
There's a theory that she's going to swoop, like she's going to pinch them when they're, like, they're to be waiting for them to, like, either run away from the White Walkers and they're like, Papa, gotcha. Or when they win, they'll just clean the rest of the people up.
I don't buy that.
And I think that'd be how, like, she'll be planning that, and we'll be like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen? But then shit will hit the fan. And actually, this can go into, I have it down here, whereas during the Battle of Winterfell, the Night King will actually be in King's Landing. That could be part of it, too. That could bring her into the battle, too, where you're like, fuck, I don't know who's going to win, because, like, they're going back and forth and shit like that.
I like that theory for some reason.
The only part of that I find is called the Battle of Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if they show the Night King, like, unless, like, she just doesn't show up the whole battle, and we're like, where the fuck's the Night King? And then, like, that's the last scene is him there or something. I feel like if it's back and forth, him in King's Landing and him Winterfell, it's weird that they'd call it the Battle of Winterfell if it's both places.
Yeah, I think they would reveal it. I think you're right. They'd reveal it at the end that he's.
So I think if they do win, it'd be because of that, and it'd because the Night King wasn't there. That's just he knows they can take that down. It's quick. And then he's really going to cause damage in the other.
I also think that there's 2 giant battle episodes, right?
I think so, yeah.
And I think one will be with the White
I think
Walkers.
It's like the 3rd episode, and then the 2nd to last episode is supposed to be the big battles.
Yeah, so one will be the White Walkers.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other will be Jon and Daenerys, if they're both still around.
Yeah.
Against whatever Cersei has left.
I could see that. I think if the White Walkers lose in episode 3, I'll be extremely disappointed, and I feel like it was a waste of a storyline. Because they've barely been in the show, then they get introduced, they take down the wall, they get a dragon, and then they just lose in in Winterfell. Like, I feel like that's lame. But it also depends on how the battle's like too.
That's what I was gonna say. Well, what if it's the coolest thing you've ever seen?
It most likely will be, but I think
it's hard to say the coolest thing you've ever seen is going to be lame, though. I know what
you're
saying.
I think if they lose in that battle, it'll be lame.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because if that's the end of them, they're only in half the season, I'd be a little disappointed, at least for me.
I mean, they haven't been in it all that much.
Exactly. So I'd be like, what was the fucking point of them anyways?
Well, that's what we said in episode 1.
Yeah, but I like them. They're my favorite part of the show, because I was like, oh, fucking, who cares about this fucking Jaime and Cersei banging each other shit? I want more White Walkers.
See, but the whole thing is...
And then they got Bran time traveling, and the Night King grabs him, and that's where they started getting me.
It can go one or two ways. Either it's like, who the fuck's going to end up on the throne?
Mm-hmm.
Or they're like, we were just kidding. It doesn't really matter who's going to be on the throne. There is no more throne.
I think that's an option, too, is that there won't be a throne, or it's not going to be one person. It's going to be like a
committee.
They're like, you rule King's Landing, and you rule here. And, like, there's multiple people in different places. I think that's a likely outcome as well.
I could see that, but...
Because with the people that are fighting, too, even with Jon Snow and
that's almost
Daenerys
as lame as them losing, though.
I don't think so. For me, I like that ending of it being multiple people, and they, like, kind of work together, other than one ruler. Because I feel like it's been one ruler this whole time, and that's when shit's been fucked up, and no one likes it and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't fucked up until... John's mom and dad got together.
Oh, yeah, but I still think that'd be a cool ending. So the next thing I got down here is, who is Arya running from? I got a couple likely things. You just tell me which one you think is more likely. So we got, obviously, people think that the Crypts are gonna get fucking revived, and every character that's ever died in the show is gonna be back in it.
And there's no way that's happening, right? Because that's too cool.
I'd be very surprised if that happens.
Like if Catelyn and Ned are chasing her down the fucking thing.
That's my first one. I got Cat. Cat's the first person who could be chasing her down. How likely do you think that is?
On a scale of 1 to 100?
And people said that, like...
What in the fuck?
The tape did it. It's still hung up on the roof, but there's no tape.
Okay.
But people think that, like, this is their way of getting Lady Stoneheart. They'll have her quickly here. She's chasing her, and she's just in this last season. And
she's just like,
boom! That's their storyline for her in this show.
I don't think it's very likely.
I don't either. I don't think anybody coming back from the dead chasing her is likely. I mean, I got 2 of them here. The next one I got is Ned. So a lot of people think Ned, which I find very funny because you tried doing an April Fool's joke
I was just
on
gonna say
Hess about that. Like,
I was just going to say
Ned is back, he's chasing her, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, everybody has this theory now.
I do want to say this. So yesterday was April Fool's Day.
Which I fell for like 14 things yesterday. I never fall for the April Fool's Day. I feel like half the time, my thinking is like, for how I felt for this time, it's like, who does April Fools anymore? Like, I think it's kind of lame.
Oh, it is lame unless you can
and then
get people.
And I watched that Pagey video and I fell for his Flash people. And then I almost fell for a Doctor Who show that was supposed to be a spinoff. And then there's something else. I was listening to like a podcast and they did something and I fell for that too. And I was like, what the fuck? That happened 3 times today. I was like, what the fuck?
The Pagey thing was the 30th, but he's in Australia, huh?
Yeah, so he was a day early. But no one here in America realized that until they got to the end of the video.
Okay, so it was the morning, and I text Hess. I said, hey, I saw that episode, whatever, or some episodes leaked. I think I said episode 1, so that was...
Yeah, that probably might have been a
but he didn't know that. Come on. So I said, Ned came back to life, killed Sansa, and he's the one chasing Arya down the thing. And then he's like, oh, April Fools, I'm no fool. And I'm like, damn it, I thought that was... like, and as I was typing it out, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. He kills Sansa and goes after Arya. That's why she's running away. And he's like, why would Ned kill Sansa? And I'm like, well, I mean, he'd be a White Walker, so I mean, or a White at least. And like, that's why. He's like, oh, I didn't think of that. I'm like, God
so
damn
then you almost got him after the fact.
Yeah,
so if it wasn't April Fool's Day and you just argued that, he would have been like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you could have easily got him.
Yeah, and I was just trying
and what's funny is literally that day we tried to do this podcast, and I was looking up theories, and I was like, oh, wow, I've seen this like 4 times, that exact theory.
Well, and the funny thing is I had a GIF ready of Mr. T saying April Fool's Day to him next, but he didn't fall.
Really?
I thought for sure he'd fall for it.
That's funny.
I mean, he you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the next people I got in here is the Night King or like a White Walker and shit like that, or like a bunch of whites coming down the hall at her. How likely do you think it is that?
I mean, I think it's kind of likely.
Mm-hmm.
There's secret passages into the crypt.
Yeah. I mean, Melisandre says that Jon Snow knows all down. Like, the Starks should know all that.
Yeah, well, they do. But that means there's secret passages into the crypt, too. Yeah. It's not like they're one-way passages.
And like we saw in the trailer, they're like miles away. They could have some on top, some through the secret passages and shit like that. And if there's a whole theory the Night King's the Stark, he might know the secret passages as well.
Yeah. At what point, if you're like 1,000 years old, do you have like some memory loss? Because like that's a lot of shit to remember.
I don't. I mean, he's got like powers and shit, so he might have like a super memory.
He's like a hard drive in his ass or something.
Maybe he like, hold on, this is my. I gotta get my Winterfell hard drive out. Hold on, plugs that in, and then that's how. He knows.
I mean, I think that there's a possibility. I also think maybe that she's kind of tricking somebody.
Like she's pretending to be scared, and then she's like, "Bah, gotcha, bitch," and fucking stab him.
Or she's leading someone to someone.
Oh, maybe.
Remember how
I can see that.
Remember how she led the way all the way back to her fucking deal?
Yeah, she was like, she pretended to be hurt and all that.
Kind of remember.
I didn't write it down, but there's a whole theory about that's not even really Arya Stark, it's the Wraith. How likely do you think that is?
On a scale from 1 to 100, I'd say it's about a
0.
6.
Oh, okay, that's a little
no
likely.
Fucking way.
That's to me just as likely as Littlefinger still being alive, and
I would say that's more likely.
I saw one too. It was about. We've already discussed this, that Jagan Hagar is Ned Stark or Syrio or whatever. Yeah. And I didn't realize it. I don't know if we ever discussed it, but Jagan Hagar is down in the same cell area as Ned, and I think that's when they made the switch.
Oh, because he was arrested and they were taking him.
Yeah, so they're saying they could have met there and been like, hey, I'll be you, you be me. And then they like switch. But the only problem with that, and it's the same problem with like the Arya, I guess Arya's makes sense because they were both faceless men. Yeah. But those two, like, Ned Stark and him had to be faceless men, and Littlefinger and that girl they'd both have to be in switch places, which seems weird.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen. It is weird that they show that bitch give him a coin though.
Yeah, and she says like your time's up here or something like that.
But then again, he's always looking for information. He's always paying like little peasants to do shit for him.
Yeah, but that's how they get you. Like, oh, he's just paying someone off for information or a hand job or something, and really he's like, hey, pretend to be me. They're going there and be scared.
Yeah, but who's doing that for a fucking coin?
The faceless men. All you gotta say is Badamakudos, and they go, back to you, and then they switch.
You lost me.
Oh, okay. Then the last one I got is that Arya's actually running down King's Landing, and it's the Mountain chasing her right after the Clegane Bowl or something like that, and she tried to help, and then he kills the Hound and chases her down the hall.
I don't think that's real.
I think that'd be cool. Because we'd be waiting all episode 3 and we'd be like, she never ran down that hallway. What the fuck? And then she's fighting with the mountain. We're like, oh, fuck yeah, get him, Arya. Oh, shit. And, like, she's getting chased. Because then I'd be scared for Arya if the mountain's chasing her.
What if she's running down the hallway scared?
From the mountain, and then the hound shows up in the end and fucking saves her.
And at the end of when she's running, it's the dragon and it shoots fire on whatever's chasing her.
Oh, and she jumps and like slides, and she's the secret person riding a dragon.
Well, no, because remember, there's the one scene in the trailer where the dragon like is
in a dark room and then blows fire.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. The dragon, and then like John's dragon saves her or whatever.
Yeah.
I would like that. That'd be cool.
I wonder if the dragon knows that like her and John are close. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like it would have to because it doesn't burn Dany's people.
Yeah, it's weird how they just said stuff.
Yeah. I wonder that as well. This next one we've been talking about for like 2 years now.
I just thought of something.
What?
What do you think the dragon would do to Catelyn?
Because if she came back as Lady Stoneheart?
No, just like in general.
Oh, in general. I guess either way it'd probably just burn her.
Because she was not nice to John.
John would be like, hey! Fuck it. I don't care.
She always was a
we've been talking about this next one for like 2 years now. Arya is going to dress up as Jaime and kill Cersei. How likely do you think this is?
Not very, but I hope it happens.
If Arya survives the Battle of Winterfell and Jaime dies in it, I'm gonna say this is very likely. So by episod 3, if that's the case,
I think that's likely.
I'm gonna think that's gonna be the.
So after episode 3, you'll have a boner.
Well, I'll probably have a boner anyways.
True.
They'll show Bran on the screen, and I'll be like, "Oh, it's my boy. It's the Night King, my little man over there." Hey, do you remember when I asked you why don't they have a wheelchair Bran pop figure, and you called me a fucking idiot because there's no wheelchairs in Game of Thrones?
No.
And what's Bran sitting in next to that tree in season 7? I can't remember what it's called.
I don't remember that.
That's a wheelchair, I think.
You think?
My next theory I got here, the Night King. This one I found pretty interesting, and I wonder what you think of it. Because sometimes I get these, I'm like, oh, this is cool, and you're like, yeah, it's fucking stupid. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I looked that up for an hour. So we'll see what you think about this.
Just because you think something's cool.
Yeah. So the Night King, in this theory, is a Stark Targaryen mix, and this was a whole fucking big thing, so I just kind of wrote it down so I can going off this off memory. The Night King is a Stark Targaryen mix, and they're saying how no Stark and Targaryens have ever married successfully, like Lyanna and what's-his-face tried to do it, and they got killed, and they made Jon Snow, though. So Jon Snow would be the only other Stark Targaryen mix besides the Night King, and then once that happened, they sent the Night King a signal, and that's when he started coming for her. And he's coming this entire time to get Jon Snow because Jon Snow's the only other Stark Targaryen mix, and he'll be the next Night King. And at the end of the series, Jon and Bran are going to go off beyond the wall. They'll make like a Valyrian steel wall, it says in here or something. And Bran's going to go in the roots, and Jon's going to be waiting for the exact same thing to happen again. Like just waiting for time to repeat itself.
Wow. That's interesting, but like, I don't see that happening.
I think
it's too, isn't it?
It's a lot of information that they'd have.
Like they waited too long to tell us that he's a Targaryen, even though we knew the whole time. But they waited too long to make it common knowledge for it to be like, oh yeah. By the way,
some people, idiots you work with and family members we know, didn't even know he's a Targaryen after watching the season, which I don't understand. They literally tell you, well, he's a Targaryen. I read it in a book and it's all in the vision.
Plus, I've been telling people for how many years?
You told me like season 5.
Yeah.
Like, I just read the book. I think Jon Snow's dead, and his mom's this and that and the other thing. And I was like, oh, and Bran's the Night King? And you're like, yeah.
No, that part I didn't include.
This next one, I think, is one of the most, like, out of all these theories on here, probably the most likely one. And it's that Samwell basically becomes George R. R. Martin in the end of the show, and he's writing Game of Thrones.
You think that's the most likely?
Just in the end, like after the show's over and the battle's done, maybe they show him in Citadel and he's writing like a Song of Ice and Fire. But that's not like the end outcome. It's just like he happens to be writing history at the end of all this. I think that's most likely.
I could see it like he's like an old man. He's writing.
Yeah, like that's just like one of the endings they're showing us is like just one thing they pass by. I think that's pretty likely. Because they even know, and when he's in the Citadel, and he's talking to that guy, and they're writing the history book in there. And some guy says, the history of Westeros, or something stupid. And he's like, I don't like it. And the guy's like, what would you call it? He's like, something more poetic.
Yeah.
I think it's like a little nod that he'd call it like a Song of Ice and Fire, or Dance of Dragons, or Bran's the Night King.
I could see that, like an old Sam dressed up, and I've also
Gilly had her babies in the background with another baby, Sam Jr.
Jesus. That goes in with the like you have one with Bran waking up and it's all his.
Oh yeah, that right here I got down in the bottom is the ending of Game of Thrones is that Bran wakes up and from a dream, young Bran, and we realize that the whole show has been Bran's first vision.
That'd be hard to explain too.
I don't think so. If he just wakes up and does it, and like, but they give you that vision that he gets sometimes when he's in like a bird or a wolf. That confuses me sometimes. There'd be some way of doing it, and he's like, and then he sees the raven leather and goes like, ah, and he looks at it all weird. I think it'd explain.
Yeah,
it
but
well.
some people wouldn't know if then what we witnessed was true or not.
I think that'd be like a good way to be like get people talking. Like, did it really happen? Yeah, this is a vision. No, it wasn't. Stuff like that.
I think that would explode the internet.
I do too, which is one reason why I think that is kind of likely is because that's like a. Because in one way, like it could actually have an ending. Say it ends, Daenerys is sitting on the throne, or whoever you want. It doesn't matter in this.
Miss Andy.
Yeah, sure. Miss Andy's there, and she's kissing Grey Worm.
Yeah, he's dead.
And then all of a sudden, Bran's like, like everything still happened. He just had a vision. Or you could say nothing happened. Like I think like they can kind of have it both ways if they do that. Like give a cool ending, but then also give a real ending.
I don't think Bran having a vision about the whole thing is a cool ending. I think that's kind of like a cop-out.
Really? Why is it a cop-out? Because it's not. If they do go
because
the route that I said.
Then it's like then you did 73 episodes and you wait for the last episode to be like, maybe it didn't happen that way.
Yeah, but see, that's your opinion. It's a maybe. And in my opinion, it all happened.
My opinion, it happened too because I watched it.
Yeah, see, so it would all happen
but
anyways.
There would be opinions out there.
And we've seen that maybe now they can do Game of Thrones 2 and he tries to stop Hodor again.
Well, I mean, there's also a theory out there that I've heard where, like, after it all ends, that I forget her name, but the old lady that's Hodor's, like, mom or whatever, old Nan, and then she's reading him
like a book
or whatever, and it's a story, or that like they actually are in the eye of a giant.
That would be fucking hilarious if that was the ending. I gotta say, if it starts zooming out and you're like, what the fuck's happening? That's an eye. Oh my god, it's a giant. And he's just like walking through like a world.
I mean, it's still.
It'd be Osmosis Jones too. It just put that on the screen.
It would still be happening. That seems a bit cheesy to me.
No, yeah, that would be one that I would think that's hilarious, but I'd be like, oh come on, that can't be.
If
the real
it was
ending.
just old Nans talking stories, if they did it right, it wouldn't be bad. But like,
she closes and it says like written by George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, she said, and next up is Barry.
Would be weird that so like if she is reading a story, is she reading about Bran and Jon Snow and that'd make it weird. It'd have to be like different people almost, or like she's reading it to a different kid.
Well, I guess when you hear a story though, you do think of yourself in the person.
I guess that's true. Yes, maybe Bran was adding people.
I don't think
he knew
any of that shit's gonna happen though.
Yeah, probably not. It'll be an ending where a lot of people die and someone's sitting on the throne that we don't like. The next one I got is the Lord of Light theory, is that the Night King is actually the Lord of Light and has been, like, misguiding Melisandre. She thinks she's fucking following the Lord of Light and giving all this stuff, and Jon Snow's the Prince Who's Promised, which should go into more Jon Snow being Targaryen, Stark mix, and that's what the Night King wants and all that. What do you think of that?
I kind of like that, just that he's fucking over.
And, like, she thinks that, and he might not even think that. He might think he's, like, giving her visions and doing, like, he doesn't
He's
know.
Like, I told you I wanted Jon Snow.
Yeah. And she's just thinking, oh, it's the Lord of Light. Everybody's talking about the Lord of Light. This must be it.
It says a little bit about religion, too. I mean, that would be kind of funny.
I think that'd be neat. I just don't know how they would show that, unless it's like... I don't know how they would show it. Do you think
we'll see her old again, or do you think that was a one-time thing?
I would think they have to do something with that, especially because she said she's gonna die. So she's gonna die. Her and Varys are gonna die in this coming up season.
I hope she seduces Davos, and then right before she has sex with him, she like takes off her necklace.
That's your theory.
That's my theory.
Like that.
That's my season 8 theory.
My next one I got here is Gendry is Cersei and Robert's son.
I've heard that one.
What do you think of that? And then the show will end with him sitting on the throne, and it'll end with Baratheon back on the throne.
No, I don't like that one.
I could see them saying, "Oh, he's the son. She got rid of blah 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 blah."
But who would know though?
Maybe Tyrion.
I mean, Bran, I guess.
I guess Bran could figure. Hey, by the way, I know everything's over, but you're Cersei's kid. And he's like, oh, fuck.
But, I mean, see, that's where you get into, he's the rightful king, or is Jon the rightful king?
I feel like, kind of like how people, Ned Stark's a raven or whatever, or in a pigeon. Theories like this and that, you're never going to know the answer for. That'll just be something that, they kind of maybe gave hints for, and I don't think we'll ever know. Either way.
I mean, she did say that her son that she had with Robert died of fever, so...
Yeah.
I mean,
and I guess in the books, she had an abortion, so people are like, well, why would they change it if it wasn't important? But I just think that was a change. They just wanted to have it different in here or whatever.
Yeah, I think because they want her to love her kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, and if it does, I don't think it'll amount to anything.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen either. I do find it odd that Gendry and Jon became friends because they're both bastards.
Oh yeah,
but now
and then they could also possibly be.
But now it's my dad killed your dad.
Yeah.
Because
I wonder
because they were both in love with your mom.
I wonder if that'll come up at all, or if that'll just be something we know and it's weird.
We know.
So the next two I got is all you, dog.
Okay.
So prepare to get your mouth prepared to speak.
Well, the one is not me. I just fucking
all,
heard a guy
you said, hey, if you don't write this down, I'm going to take my toes and pinch your sack while we're talking. And I said, well, I don't want that to happen, sir. So I wrote it down.
You've never called me sir.
I just did.
Whatever.
Sansa is the Night Queen. I think you're trying to jab at me with my Bran's the Night King thing. I'm taking this personally.
How funny would that be, though, if, he's like, that's actually what he's going after?
He's like, she's beautiful. I just want to marry her.
He's really Littlefinger. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, he's like, I'm back, Sansa.
No, I heard someone say in some theory that the Night King will turn Sansa and she will become the Night Queen. And I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't like
that's up there with, I mean, it would just be dumb.
A little bit, yeah. And he's just going to kidnap her and marry her. One of them I did find interesting is about there's a Night Queen before and how they got him away before is the Starks or whoever in Winterfell kidnapped the Night Queen and they have her in the crypts. And that's really what he's after this entire time is just to get his wife back. And he'll go there and something will happen and we'll see her, then they both just die there.
I mean, if
that is the case, then I would be okay with them losing if it's just for that. And he's like, oh, it's just a love story. He just wanted his love back and he died. And it's a thing like that. Then I'd be like, okay, well, we got a purpose.
That's the thing, though. He's okay. So, if he's after Bran, that makes sense because they both are.
Bran keeps popping up in his dreams, and he's like, "Listen, Freddy Krueger, I don't want anything to do with you."
Yeah. And he killed the first three-eyed raven.
Yeah.
And almost got Bran.
I partly think he's after Bran because he killed. I feel like he killed the three-eyed raven because he's like, I know you can see the future and shit. You're gonna stop me eventually. And then now Bran's out there, so then he wants to kill Bran because Bran might see something that can stop him, or he can go in the past and see how they defeated him before and shit.
Unless he doesn't take Bran seriously because he just took over.
It's true, but it seems like he's still after him for that.
Sorta.
I mean, he keeps touching.
But it was just that one. Wow, Bran is more checking him out.
So someone just knocking on the ceiling.
I don't like it. Bran was more checking him out.
Yeah, he did grab Bran though.
But he went in his vision.
Yeah, that's true.
Or did he go in his vision?
No, I don't know, because were they really just standing out there? Then he saw Bran, or what happened there?
Yeah, whatever. They've crossed paths, but he hasn't killed him.
Yeah.
Why didn't he kill him when he grabbed him? If you want to.
Because it's a vision. I don't think he can do that.
He touched him. He left scars. Knows where he's
at.
at.
True. He did leave some Alexander Skarsgårds on him.
If he knew he was a Stark and he's after someone that's in a crypt and he touches someone who's going back to the...
Yeah.
But... And I don't think he's after Jon.
I kind of hope he is. But at the same time, this to me, I think the theory of Jon being a Targaryen mix and he wants him to replace him and all that kind of makes sense. For the only thing is, he's had so many chances to kill Jon and he hasn't.
Well, that's why I don't think he's after Jon.
See, but that's why I think he is, because, no, I'm trying to talk to you, bro. You got to replace me.
Yeah, he hasn't really given off that vibe.
Yeah, I don't know.
He killed everyone around him, but he hasn't, killed him.
Yeah, it's weird. It'll be very interesting when we figure that out.
And he didn't try to stop anyone else from killing Jon, so it was more
Oh, that's true. He could have been like, hey, dudes, that could be the next me down there.
Yeah.
It's true. You're putting a hole in my theory.
Of course, he can't talk, so...
I mean, maybe he can. Maybe he just took a vow of silence.
I wish you'd take a vow of silence.
Okay.
Sweet. So, anyways, no.
This last theory, it's all you again. Sansa wins it all.
I could see Sansa on the throne at the end.
I can too. I can see Jon Snow winning it and being like, "Here you go."
Daenerys dies either in battle,
or
Jon kills her,
does the prophecy thing.
Whatever. I could see, and then they're like, "Oh, he's the king now. He's the only Targaryen left." And he's like, "You know what? Let Sansa do it."
Yeah,
I could totally
and then
see
she'll be
that.
like, "Oh, brother," and they'll be all happy. And then I can totally see it too, like when we watched Dane Cook's video of Arya after all this going beyond the wall and like doing shit. And then she's like, "I'll come back if you need me," and give her the coin and all that. I can see that happening.
Yeah, when I watched that video and he said that, I was like, that's cool, but she's not going beyond the wall. Why would she go, like, north of the wall?
Well, because she's never been there. That's why I took it.
Fuck that, it's too cold. Go to the other place.
Maybe she'll be riding Nymeria.
Yeah, Nymeria seemed really into that.
Yeah.
No, I think she might go, like...
I also watched 3. I didn't write it down because I thought it was kind of stupid, but I'll just say it on here. There's one that Arya is going to go into Nymeria. Like, she'll die, and she'll be in Nymeria forever. And then that Wolfpack and Arya are going to come in and save the day in the end of the season.
That is stupid.
How
do we know she's in there?
Because she's going to all of a sudden work now 7 seasons in. And we'll be like, oh, fuck.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Because they said, like, in the books she does that, but so does every other Stark, but they don't do that in the show.
I don't remember her working, but maybe. I mean, they do all have a special connection with their animals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they all do.
Yeah.
Except Sansa. Hers died right away.
She didn't really get a chance to connect.
They're like, oh, you got a puppy?
But yeah, that's all the theories we got, folks.
Do you think there's going to be a Targaryen Bowl?
I hope so.
I don't think there's going to be.
I think, again, like I said, if Arya and Jaime, or if Jaime dies and Arya survives that battle, I think if the Hound survives the Battle of Winterfell, then I think there will be a clean bowl, because they'll go there and he'll be like, brother! And they've teased it so much.
Doesn't it seem like there needs to be like a few people that need to survive for some stuff to happen, but then yet a lot of them need to die because...
For then other things to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be... I think episode 3 will kind of tell me how the end's going to be, kind of.
Or so you think.
Yeah, so I think I can dance. TV show on ABC.
Is it, though?
Yeah, it's ABC 15. 14,
14,
13, 12.
Pretty sure it's Fox.
It could be Fox. It could be 10. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't fucking wait for it to watch. You think we're gonna, like, when the first episode starts, we're gonna be like, all right, they're in Winterfell. Can we get on with it? I hope not. I hope we're just gonna enjoy it.
I don't think we will. I think we'll just enjoy it.
Okay.
I think we'll be definitely, like, after the end of episode 2, like, fuck, I can't wait till next week. But we'll enjoy it. Like, it's back. We'll get some new shit, and it'll be cool, I think. I do want to say, I'll say this next week as well. Next season of Game of Thrones, me and Nick are going to do an after show. The second Game of Thrones is over. Maybe like a minute or two. Might go pee and stuff, and then we'll come in here.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about our thoughts right after the episode. We won't take notes or anything. And then the following day or so, we'll watch it again, take notes, and we'll come and do this podcast with Hess. And that's how we'll do it for season 8. So we'll do two videos a week on it, basically. And then maybe even some theory videos. So we might get a lot of Game of Thrones come up soon. If you like Game of Thrones and you like us.
It only lasts 6 weeks. We might as well get it most of it.
Yeah, might as well fucking wring it all out like a sweaty towel. You know what I mean?
No, could you explain it?
Well, if you got a lot of sweat in a towel and you don't want it in there anymore, you'd wring it out.
And
And
then reuse it? That's gross.
Yeah. And
Just get another towel.
Clean your balls. I was thinking more like a washcloth.
Just get
Maybe
another
you only
towel.
got one washcloth. I don't know.
Why would you have one washcloth?
I don't know. Easy for you to say.
Yeah, washcloth.
Well, that being said, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe.
Easy for me to say.
And we'll see you guys next week for predictions on Season 8 of Game of Thrones, everybody. I'm going to take my toes and pinch your sack while we're talking. And I said, well, I don't want that to happen, sir.